Christine, and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Yeah, so it's around midnight here in Kenya. I think it's 12. Let me see. Okay, I can't find the time, but it's around 12. It's midnight here in Kenya. And yeah, it's just a random thing I thought of doing. It's a thought I have or had, and I just felt like sharing. Like I told you, I wanna be real. I wanna be as real as I can be. And guys, if you do not know, I'm a person with visual impairment. I do not see totally. I'm totally blind, and I've been like this for now. This is my 20th year, so I've had some experiences. I've seen the good and the bad, the highs and the lows. I've gotten to meet good people. I've gotten to meet people who are not really genuine, or rather, really, I can't really say not genuine as such, but people who are just there for a season and God, just, how can I say? We went all, sorry, we all went our separate ways. So, yeah, so I felt like sharing with you. So on this channel, I'll be sharing with you my life story for you to just see how I go about things with visual impairment, for me to share with you experiences that I've gone through, and for you to be able to learn and also help somebody somewhere, maybe in your community, in your family, at your workplace, wherever. Just be able to understand from my story, and be able to, I don't know, how can I put it? Be able to give support positively. And yeah, so I have sisters. We are seven of us, but six from the same dad. The seventh born, who is the firstborn of the seven girls, is from a different dad. So from my mom, we are three of us, and then I'm the last born of the three. And so I give this story because you know currently as we speak, my mom passed on um years back. I was 5 when she passed on. And so life happened, life continued, and unfortunately, along the way I lost my sight. Along the way, a lot of things changed, and with death, so many things change, right? Because for me, my mom, growing up, I remember my mom used to wake us up, prepare us for school. And I also remember my mom, she, for me personally, I can tell you that she didn't used to leave my side. Like, I would come from school and meet my mom. She would go to the shop and I would be there with her. She would go to the market and I would be there with her. She would go, do her businesses and I would be there with her. So everywhere she was, I was there, because that's just the kind of person she was. She just, I can say she loved having me around. So even when she traveled to the US, I traveled with her. She was just that kind of mom. So when she passed on, of course, things changed. I was only 5, so there were a lot of things I didn't know how to do for myself. I learned how to wash, I learned how to cook, I learned how to, become a better person as I grew. But along the way, because my mom passed on in 2001, right? And then in 2006, I end up getting sick and losing my sight. So unfortunately, um, with that, again, that was another big change for me. So I lose my sight in 2006. And again, I recover. It took me around 2 years because I remember I was very sick. I can't remember my whole of 2007. I can't remember anything about 207 in my life. And that's because, um, sorry, that's because, that's because, that's because I was very sick. So with the recovery and all that, I was not able to know much that was going on. So the whole of 2027, I was not able to, what can I say? I was not able to really tell what was going on because of how sick I was. So 206, 207, 208, 208 is when I started recovering, and at least God helped me. I started at least, realizing, okay, now I don't have my sight permanently. I wasn't seen at that point. I was still young, so I couldn't tell exactly which way life was going to take me because, as well, I was around teenagehood, so I was not able to really um, discern what was going on. But by the grace of God, I was able to cope with what was going on, and at least what can I say? At least I was able to still pick up and move on with life. But like I said, there was just so much that changed in my life. And we don't write our stories. It's only God who knows our end from the beginning, right? And for me, it wasn't easy. So my mom passed on. My dad remarried. In between him remarrying, so when he remarried after my mom, again, after I felt sick and lost my sight and all that happened, again, they separated with the wife he had remarried after my mom, and then also now again remarried again. Like he got married again in 2009. So when he remarried after my mom, that was around 205. Yeah, 205 is when he remarried. And then again, now, after I lost my sight, they broke up and then he remarried again in 2009. So you see, those were all big changes in my life. Number one, I lost my mom. That's one big change. Number two, here I am in 205. I'm meeting a new woman. I'm still getting to learn her. I'm still getting to, know who she is, getting to find out, who is this new woman in my life. And then now in 206, again, now what happens? I lose my sight. So 206, 207, 208. Now, as I'm still recovering and still now trying to realize, okay, fine, Faith, you've lost your sight. Faith, now this is the way you need to go. This is now, unfortunately, again, now a big change. My dad remarries again. So they break up with her. He remarries again in 2009. So when I'm now starting to, go back to school and, now just starting to recap, or rather, how can I say, starting to pick up the pace, again, this new change. So I'm meeting another woman, and it's like I now starting to learn now who is this other woman. You see, now who is this again? So he remarries, we move in with a new wife, my dad's new wife, and then so that's 2009, 2010, 2011. Again, they break up. So you see, for me, in between, I've lost my mom. I've been introduced to a new woman. I've lost my sight. And then again, I'm being introduced to a new woman. And then they break up. I can say it wasn't an easy path for me personally, because now I have me to figure out. I have also this other new woman who has come into my life in 2009, when now I'm still trying to get an identity of who I am now in this world of visual impairment. So the relationship was not so easy. Even between her and my dad, there were a few things that were going on. And so I think I went numb. I forgot about faith, you're blind, you need to figure it out, and started focusing on the, let me call it, drama that was happening, just because let me say I went into survival mode. Yeah. I went into survival mode, and it wasn't easy. It was not easy. I'm telling you, it wasn't easy. Because I remember come 2011, I sit for my exam, the national exams, and I fail. Why do I fail? Because guess what? Faith has postponed everything about herself and is on survival mode because she's learning this new woman. She's still trying to uh, come to terms and trying to figure out this world of blindness. And then there's all this new braille that you have to learn. And then to make it worse, the support system. I don't know. I feel like, and sadly to say, I feel like my dad did not protect me enough. He did not protect me enough. Those were the times and the years that I needed him most in regards to protecting me as a child now with a disability. Why do I say so? Because um, let me speak generally. When women we get married and they are stepchildren, or you get married as a stepmom, not all women come with genuine reasons. Not everyone comes with, the need to progress you as a man and your family. Some of them come with their own personal, let me say, agendas. Some of them come with their own personal needs. So you are just along. You're there for the ride because, how can I put it? Because you cannot, how can I put it? How can I put it? Yani wewe, you're just there. This, you're amekukuta. So what can she do? What can she do? You're the children to this man. So she has to just come in and also adjust to now whatever plans she had or have. So I'm saying this generally because when we get married, if, let's say, for example, you're a stepmom, you're going into somebody's home, a man's home, and he has children, or you're getting married, or you're marrying, or a man is marrying, and he's bringing a woman home, you need to identify one thing, that these children are not this person's children. So, number two, you cannot say that because you have remarried or you have married this person, that that person automatically becomes their mother or their father. That is another journey. That is a journey of integration. You see, you have to build up systems that fit and benefit both parties. Otherwise, if you're not strong emotionally, psychologically, as a man and a woman, you will find yourself going into conflicts even within yourself because you love maybe both parties, but unfortunately, you yourself have not put systems that can work. Why do I say this? Because it starts from the point of even introduction. How have you introduced these two parties to each other? You see, is this one coming to just bulldoze? And is this one coming to feel like their space has been and is this other party feeling like their space has been invaded? You know? And that's why it's very important for you to establish the roles that everyone is playing in that home. So for me, like I said, I was caught in so much that I was still trying to figure out. My mom passes on in 201. My dad remarries in 205. In 206, I've lost my sight. In 209, again, when I'm just beginning to now figure it out or starting to figure things out, again, here is another transition, another change. He remarries, and then come 2011, they break up, and then here is exams that I've not even figured things out because I didn't know Braille. So I fail. I flop. And not because I'm not intelligent, not because I do not have things put together. No. Just because like I've told you, I went numb. I went numb. I had to go into a space where when I'm in school, I'm just there. When I'm at home, I'm just there. It's just time that was arranging me, you see. It was not really activities and anything. It was just time. When it's daytime, I'm in school. When it's when it's during the evening time and all those weekends, I'm at home because I felt like I'm thrown off. I don't know what to start with in my life. I don't know what to arrange first in my life, you know. And so that happened. So come 2012, 2011, no, sorry, 2011, 2012. So 2011, I do my exams and I didn't pass. So that ends. And then 2011, 2013, 2014, again, what happens is, so I've failed in my national exams, and so trying to figure out which way next. So 2012, I'm at home. We're trying to figure things out. Now, remember, I'm blind, so I have no how to go about things. I'm blind. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do. Okay, so when somebody fails, what do they do next? Being that they have visual impairment. So for me, I was just in my own desert. I was just nilikuwa tu hapo. So come 2013, and this is why I always say, when you have a child with disability, please be mindful whom you have around them. Please be mindful, because it's not everyone who is genuinely around that child, even from house helps, even from maids. Please, 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 I want to plead with you. If you're a parent and you have a child with a disability, even just children generally, please, I want to plead with you. Kindly be cautious of who you have around your children. Please, please, please. Because it contributes a lot into their lives, how they will be physically, emotionally, and psychologically, and also socially. You know, some of these, you see tantrums that children are doing, banning schools and all those things, is because there's a void somewhere in between. Either you have exposed them to the wrong environment, either they feel they're not heard, either they feel like they're just alone. They don't have anyone they can go to and talk to and be heard, you know? You know? Sometimes it's not so much about what you're giving them, but you can also help them with reasoning. That's also another way of support. So we need to be very careful as parents whom we expose our children to. So my dad brings home a maid. She wasn't so good in that 2012. She wasn't so good. And remember, now I'm a maid. This maid is coming to find a child with a disability. Does she know anything about disability? Does she know that a child with disability ABCD should work for them around the home like this and like that? No. So it's not just about bringing someone who is a house help or a nanny or a house manager to work. It's about giving them the knowledge that I have this child is like this is your responsibility, ABCD, but emotionally, physically, psychologically, I need you to be a good support and positive support system. So like I told you, all these events happened. So in 2012, a maid is brought. It wasn't very conducive at home, because my dad was the kind of person who used to go travel a lot for work and all those things. So he wasn't around a lot. So my dad, what am I saying? Yeah, so he became a maid and a house help. Um, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that good. So apparently, by the grace of God, my dad, fires her, brings in another house help. Now the second house help he brought after firing that one. At least that one was good. If she watches this, her name was called Ndinda. Ndinda was a very good house help. What can I say? She was a good house help. She wasn't the kind that, the normal, just the what you expect. I can say Ndinda was God sent. So we stayed with Ndinda come 2013, 2014, 2015. So 2015, around December, unfortunately, is it 2015? 2015, really? I'm trying to remember if it was 2014 or 2015. I think, is it 2014 December or 2015 December? She had to leave because of also other issues. I'll be talking about it here. So, by the grace of God, we had Ndinda with us, and yeah, Ndinda was good. Ndinda was fun. We played with her. Yani she was a good house manager, I can say. And wherever she is, I pray that God blesses her totally. So Ndinda left, and then now my dad brings house helps. So apparently, my dad meets now. He meets. I don't know. I don't know how to call it. I don't know how to say it, but he meets the current wife he has. So again, the cycle starts. So before this wife moves in, there were house helps. I don't know where these house helps used to come from. I don't know who used to send these house helps. But these house helps were, yani, hey, issue after issue after. Me, I'm the kind of person, I eat, I take my meal, I go stay in my bedroom. We used to stay in a very big house, so everyone used to have their own room. And personally, I used to have my own room. And so I would just, when food is cooked, I would serve or be served, and then take my food and just go and eat it in my room. Once I'm done, I bring down my plate, and then, but you'd wake up, you've not even spent your day with them, you're just in your room or whatever, but you find there's an issue that what, Faith, you have done, an issue that, so I used to ask myself, I've been away. I've been in my room. I don't even sit with you guys. So what issue is this? So issue after issue after issue. So me, I was like, okay, fine. I don't understand what's going on. So, and me, I'm the kind of person, when I keep quiet, trust me, you'll feel it. Because number one, not having sight gives me the advantage of just assuming you. Sorry to say it, but honestly, unaweza kuwa umesimama hapo, but because I don't have my sight, assuming you is very easy. I'll just pass I wanted to say like I never saw you, but yes, pass. Nitaenda tu. Like I won't. How can I put it? I won't feel. So for me, how I used to handle those issues, I used to just keep quiet and assume. And why did I used to assume? Because even the issues you're being told about, what would Jakuwa happen? You don't even know anything about what they're talking about, but they used to just make issues out of nothing, and you don't even understand where these issues are coming from. You've been in your room, Mara, you're outside, maybe you've gone somewhere, but you just find an issue. So, guys, I'm sorry if you can't still see me, but if you can, write there the comment section. Remember to just share with me what you think about today's video. Today's live. And so let me continue before I forget. And so there were just issues after issues after issues, and you're wondering, okay, fine. So what I did again, remember I told you I numbed myself, like in 2009 and all those times, I just numbed myself. So that maid left, another maid came, and then the same attitude, the same issue, the same, there was, so every maid that came from 2016, sorry, had the same attitude, the same, so unashindwa, like you're wondering, okay, fine, I don't even understand. Mmoja ni sawa, one house manager, it's okay if that person is bad, but you and you and you, the same attitude, the same, I was like, no, there must be something that is going on that is not clear, So 2019, 2016, my dad, I don't know what to say. I don't know if I don't really know the history of when they met or how they met, but now I start to hear of the current wife in 2016. So come 2016, 17, now 2018. Now you remember I'm telling you the drama with the house managers and all those things. So me, I numb myself. Numbing for me is to keep quiet and just assume. Like I just lock it out. Like I don't let it in. I don't handle it. I don't solve it. I just lock it out, So 2016, 2017. Now come, I'm not speaking of everything that was happening in between because, sometimes you forgive. You can't forget, but you forgive and you just tell God to give you grace and strength to carry on, because it's possible to still be in communication with somebody, but again, you ask yourself, why I expected better. You could have given me the smallest house, the smallest room, but I expected at least something better than, So 2016, 2017, and then now 2018, I think around May, my dad brings home his current wife. Guys, I've told you. What have I told you? I haven't had time for me, to discover me when things are settling down, when the dust is, settling down, when you're now starting to pick up as a young person. Now, at that point, I was in my early 20s. So as I'm picking up and as I'm, figuring things out, again, what happens? Another wife. So this wife is married. What does she have? She has other children. Children with who? Not my dad, but another man. Children who are adults, they are grown ups. And what happens? Again, in between, some drama. These children have come with their mother. They are step sisters and step brother. Right now, let me say it like that. and this is a stepmom. Like I told you guys, saa zingine when we marry, please let us think twice again whom we are bringing home. I'm not saying anyone ni mbaya. Sisi wote, we have our weaknesses. We have things that we are not proud of. But what am I saying? If the foundation is not laid out well, kutakuja na nini? Mvutano. Entitlement, kufeel ni kama sasa sisi ndio sisi ndio sisi ndio tuko forgetting that these are children who are born in this home. These are children who belong to this man. These are children, even if you go where, even if they were to die today, they would still be known as children of who? This man. Now, remember I told you guys something. That even when you are doing what? Even when as you are bringing someone home, there are roles. There's you, the husband, her, the wife, you guys, the children. Those are different roles. As a man, what you do, you say, hey, children, come here. This is now my wife. I need you to respect her. I need you to accommodate her. As who? My wife. My wife, these are my children. They are born in this home. I am their father. And I need you to at least accommodate them. You see, not even love them, not even have them in your atinini. No. Now, when you set down the foundation, you say this, it's up to you guys to know how to love, to grow in love, to know how to accommodate each other. And how will you do that? Through what? Accommodating each other through learning each other. If you know someone doesn't like this, then respect and keep off. If your body is like this, then respect and keep off. Yani, you leave them to discover each other and to accommodate each other, because of now it's an integrated family. This is not their mother. This is not her children. Nyinyi wote, the common or denominator or the common person in this whole circle is who? The father. So now, baba ndio amesababisha nini? Mkuje pamoja. So, because yeye ndio amesababisha, you didn't ask for it. I don't think the woman asked for it. And if she did, well, surprise. This is not a man who is starting a family. This is a man with a family. Unfortunately, it's just that the mothers to the children are not there. So, ni wewe ujue vile utajiintegrate hawa watoto wakuelewe. It's not even ati wakupende, wakuelewe. You get? So you remember I told you guys about entitlement and all those things. And that's why I always tell myself that the day I get married and this man has children, or maybe I have children, and it's an integrated family, I need to set the boundaries, me, myself, as the parent of those children. Why do I say so? Because if these children who are not, let me say now, for example, the children who are not my father's children, if they come in with the entitlement because their mother has been married into that boma, of course, what do you expect? There will be a lot of pulling. Huku ni kwetu, sasa sisi ndio ujue sisi ni, you get. And it can never work. It can never work because Number one, hawa wamekuja wamewakuta, so can they just respect the fact that nyinyi wamekuja wamewakuta, and so you are welcoming them into now this family. And so welcoming them, it means what? You are now no longer seeing them as ati watoto wa uko nje, mume mwingine. No, you're seeing them as watoto wamekuja, and so they're going to be part of us children. You get? I don't know, maybe that's just my thought, but personally for me, I don't think I've ever discriminated even with my stepsisters, because I also have stepsisters. I've never seen them any different. Like, not the way you can see somebody as a step or anything. No, me, I've never. God being my witness, I've always loved each and every one of my sisters with the same love I would have loved my biological sisters. I've never, and this one I can tell you from my heart, I have never ever, I have never discriminated. I have always loved, and I will forever love them with that same love. And so even with these other children who are not my dad's, I never really saw them as ati nyinyi mumekuja so you're not my fathers. No, never. In my heart, never. But you see, if the foundation is not right, you don't know these people wamekuwa wapi. You don't know who are these people. You don't know their upbringing. You don't know their character. And then we are adults. When this is 2018, I was 23, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I was, is it 23? Why am I losing track? I think I was 23 around that time. Yeah, I was 23. 23. Okay, I'm losing track. But you see, these are adults. Those children are adults. We are adults. Personally, I was an adult at that time, at that point. So you see, you're not bringing children to interact. You're bringing adults to integrate, to fit in with each other. So some things happened in between. And remember, I've told you what about me? That part of getting to now discover faith. Wakati mambo inatulia, wakati now you are speaking up yourself, wakati now you are trying to build and mold and, again, scenario lingine inala. So that whole dysfunction paragashes you inside. Annie, you're trying now to, like I told you, survival. So this 2018, again, into survival. I'll give you a scenario that used to happen. So when this wife came, before she came, what happened? My dad stopped hiring maids, and not because he felt like sasa hii kutafuta was, yani, it's not like he aliudhika. It's just that we also told him, it's fine, let us just do things around the house. So we used to clean the house, do all those things. So for me, he used to tell me to organize someone to come and wash the clothes for me, wash my clothes, of which I can wash my clothes, but there was that at least accommodation, right? So we'd wash the house and all those things. Even I would wash the house, clean the kitchen, wash utensils, all those things I would do. So we didn't have a maid, but those were the kind of arrangements that were there at home. So when the current wife came, what happened? So she came and hired a maid. So now see, there's a maid, and then now there's the new wife and her children, there's all that. So I remember the first 2 weeks that maid came. What happened? She was okay, because what used to happen, me, I was introduced to her, nikaambiwa this is what she'll be doing. So I asked her in Kiswahili, hey, sasa poa, kwani nguo haufui? In English that means, hey, kwani, that means, hey, you're not washing my clothes, in English translation, right? So she says, apana, no. She said, okay, this is in Kiswahili. She says, apana, utakuwa unajifulia. So in English, it means, no, you'll be washing for yourself. So I'm like, okay. But guess what? So for me, she's not washing, but she's washing for my stepmom's daughter. So mimi, Faith, niko na visual impairment, niko na ulemavu, I have a disability, I wash for myself. The person who does not have a disability, mtoto wa mdosi, mtoto wa mama, my stepmom's daughter, her clothes are being washed. I don't know if you're seeing that. It's not that even that I'm not her daughter. The separation is between me and her, who needs that support more. So like I told you remember what I told you guys about going numb and quiet and just assuming? So good thing I had some money. So I used to call somebody to come and just wash for me my clothes. Honestly, I think even up to date, I don't like washing. I wash really well. I can wash clothes really well, but I don't like washing clothes. I'll give you guys the story. I don't like washing clothes. So that went on. You remember what I told you guys about the house helps that were coming from after Ndinda, the house helps that were coming from 2016, the attitude and all those things. So this maid also had the same. So I wondered, and I wondered, okay, why are you like this? Why are you the same as the previous ones? I don't know if you guys are sharing what was going on. So me, I went numb. I just went numb. I kept quiet. You remember I told you guys about survival. Now I went also into survival mode. It was not easy. When the dust is just settling, when I'm starting to now find me as Faith, again, the cycle starts. Ah, Lord. So it continues like that. Going numb, going quiet, assuming those issues. I just, coped with what was going on. So apparently, those maids at some point used to see what they are doing. So I remember what used to happen. That would go on like for a month or 2 or 3, and then eventually they would come, try to bembeleza themselves, try to plead with me, like try to behave like they're nice and all those things. But for me, I was like, no, it's okay. I mean, you've already done the damage. Why you refuse to wash my clothes, I do not know. Why you decided to just have attitudes all the way, I do not know. I don't really associate with you that much. I don't even know, you know. So, and then eventually, like they would do that last week, and then eventually they would just leave work. They would just quit and go. So the second made evil, like the first made, the second made evil. Now this is, I'm speaking of now 2018, 2018, 2019. So they would come and each maid would have the same attitude. They would come 2 weeks, they wash, and then the other weeks, they now start saying, sitakufu. Yani, attitude upon attitude upon attitude. Now, guys, if you don't know, I'm usually on medications. Like, I have a health condition, right? And so, food for me is very vital. Like, in regards to keeping up with also medication, food is very vital. So what also used to happen, they used to cook in the evening. So what used to be cooked in the evening for dinner, that would be also for lunch. So when they cook dinner, they would serve me food in a bowl, like a very small bowl. It's not really small, but the quantity of food was not enough. So I'm explaining why it wasn't enough. So when they serve me that food, so I'll go and take it and eat. So I'm not full. Reason being, I've told you that same food for dinner is for lunch. So so for dinner is for, what was for dinner is also for lunch. So lunchtime, okay, so what used to happen when this food is cooked in the evening, I've been served. So our house used to be like this. I told you it's a big house. So we used to have two fridges, one fridge in the kitchen, and then a fridge in the store. So this store has a door. So they would serve me food and then take all the food to the kitchen, to the fridge in the store. And then they would lock the store. So guess what? Even if you are not full, even if you wanted more, food has already been locked in the store, in the fridge in the store. So you eat what you've been served. Now, okay. So now I've told you that food for dinner is what? It's food that is for lunch as well. That has been locked in the store. That is what is also for lunch. So come lunch, everyone that has access to the store. Who have access to the store? The house help and the daughter to my stepmom have access to the store. Actually, her children, because I remember even the son, when he comes, he used to have access to the store, but it used to stay locked. So you don't have access, as we never had access, mostly because my sister just used to archives. Yani, she didn't used to stay a lot at home. So I used to be the one at home. Wow. So the food is locked. So it's also for lunch. So guess what? Lunch is served. Everyone that has access to that store and everything they would serve food. Me, by the time I'm coming down, nakuta food imeisha. So guess what? I have not eaten lunch. Haya. Breakfast, the same. I used to be served a cup of tea. Whatever was accompanying it, there were times, whatever was accompanying it, and it's not much. Guys, remember, usiku umekula haukushiba. Breakfast ndio hiyo, umeserviwa, but it's kidogo. It's like very little. It's just a cup of tea and whatever accompaniment. Because I told you, the store used to be locked. So everything, bread, everything used to be locked in the store. So whatever you've been put for to eat there is what you're going to eat. Uonge uone. Huh? You talk and see. So guys, come lunchtime, they've served food. Food is over. There is no food. Na wanasema, sipiki. They would say, I'm not cooking more. You wait until dinner. So for me, for many years, for that whole time, I never used to eat lunch in that house. So it was just dinner. I used to just know it's dinner. and breakfast. And breakfast is what? Kidogo tu. So guess what? If you've not eaten lunch, you'd stay hungry. You're hungry throughout the day. So you remember I told you I had some money, at least I would call someone to wash some clothes for me. So eventually, what I used to do, I used to buy milk and cook enough tea. So that tea would take me all through the day. If you know me today, I have an addiction of tea. I can take a whole thermos of tea by myself simply because of those days. Those were the tea is what used to keep me. Tea is what used to allow me to at least not feel hungry throughout the day. Remember, I've told you I'm on medication. So with medication, you need to eat because also for some reason, also the medication used to give you some kind of appetite because it needs you to eat to feed. I mean, it needs you to feed to take medication. So I never used to have lunch. I used to survive on milk throughout the day. And
Atina Beavers -P9M. Never mind button. Double tap to activate. Learn more button. Double tap to activate. Links available. Use
sorry.
Atina Beavers -P9M. Never mind button. At 4859. Not see you button. Number 2 button.
I'm
Double
so
tap to activate.
sorry.
Links
I
available.
think
Use swipe
my
up then right view.
camera has an issue. Sorry, I'm seeing your comments right now. Oh, karibuni sana. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so sorry. I'm working on my camera. So I'm hoping sometime this month it will be all good. Yeah, but I hope you're following through. I hope yeah, I hope we're together. Yeah, so I used to survive on just milk. Yeah, so up to this day, let me tell you something. There's a quantity of food I cannot eat. And not because I don't have food in my house. We moved out. I moved out eventually. In 20 this is I met that was now the whole of 2018, 2019, and then in 2020 I moved out. But the damage that I realized that was done to me psychologically, leave alone physically I recovered. At least once I moved out, I gained weight and all those things. But psychologically, I'm telling you, I had trust issues. I had anxiety. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to associate myself with or who not to. I was just so, how can I put it? I was so, I had anxiety. I was a mess. Psychologically, I was a mess. And I never knew that I was a mess until I moved out of that environment, until I separated myself from those associations. And I don't give my story to put anyone down. I don't give my story to really make people look bad. But I give my story because somebody somewhere is going through a very hard time. There's somebody somewhere who is not taking things easy. And that's why I'm saying that I remember even when I used to be served food like that. To this day, even now that I have my own home, that I'm staying in my own apartment, I cannot serve myself food more than what they used to give me. And it's not even psychologically. Even my stomach cannot take more than that. It just affected me in a way that even today when I go anywhere, somebody wonders, why are you eating so little? It's because of that which I went through. That which I went through. I don't know how it feels when you welcome people into your home and then those people start to put you down, and it's where you're supposed to call home. I don't know if you've been in a position where chakula food is being locked simply because of being sidelined, not because you're stealing, not because it's going to waste, not because, simply because of a mentality. May I call it poverty mentality? Because if something was going to waste, why don't you call people and say, hey, you're using sugar badly. I won't buy any more sugar if I continue seeing it being used like this. Because you're dealing with adults, you're not dealing with children. Even with children, why show them that? I remember one day my nephew, we used to stay with him. My nephew came and knocked at my door around that same time. I think it was 2019. And he asked me in is it in Kiswahili? I can't remember, but he asked me, Auntie, can I have mangoes? You can imagine a child coming to ask for permission to eat. What's that? I felt so bad. I had to go and buy mangoes in the shop for that boy. And yet, the mangoes have been what? They've been locked in the store. So, I don't know how many people are going through what I went through. But there's one lesson I've learned in my life, that nothing is permanent. That whatever you're going through, even that thing, you shall overcome. Yes, today it's been 20 years. I've lost my sight. I've never seen since then. But I can assure you that God gets us through times and seasons that seem to be very difficult, seem to be very impossible. But He's the God that can do the impossible, where in your face, in your sight, in your mind, things just look like nothing is working out. Maybe somebody is going through something even worse than what I went through. It's better eating the little you have, all of you together, and there's peace, there's love, there's care, than having so much. Because I remember there used to be even sausages in the morning and, all this. But out of just how you're being treated, even those things were not of value to you. Because yes, you're giving me this, but why are you treating me badly? Why? So that you can say, I've been eating sausages. There's sausage, there's nothing you don't provide, there's nothing you don't give. So that you can give yourself a good name because of the good things you think you're giving someone? Or what exactly? Because it's one thing to give, but it's one thing how somebody feels when they receive what you have given them. And that's why I want to tell you today, if you're listening to me, that nothing is permanent, that God has a reason for everything. My mom died. I lost my sight. I went through whatever I went through. And I'm still here. God has sustained me. God has kept me. I might not have it all. God has not yet blessed me with what I wish to have in my life. But I can tell you this, that God is faithful. God is gracious, and He fights on our behalf. He doesn't leave things to be just because He's a merciful God. He's a God of justice. He's a God who is just. He doesn't see you as a parent and you as a child. He sees you all as His creation, and He judges according to His righteousness. And so I want to encourage you today that don't give up. Whatever you have been through, whatever you are going through, whatever seems to be impossible, I want you to know that it is possible. Because for me today, I can cook for myself. I can do so many things for myself. And it's not because even then I couldn't do it for myself. I was doing things for myself. But why I went through that, why I was put through that, I do not know. I do not know. Only God knows, because He's the author of every story. He's the one who knows our end from the beginning. He knows how life will turn out for each one of us. He knows how life will show up for each one of us. you know. There's somebody maybe who has lost their loved one. It's not the end. It's not the end. I'm telling you, because if it was the end, I don't think I'd be here. My mom, whom I told you from the beginning of this live, my mom was the one who, like everywhere she was, I was. She would go to the mall, anything she would do, she would carry me with her. And now she has gone. But the God who she left behind, the God who she might have prayed to and said, protect my children, that God sustained. Let me say personally, that God sustained me. Was there a family I talked to when I was going through all these things? Yes. But nobody cared to even just say, Faith, I might not be able to change what you're going through. But in case you need even financial support to just buy food, no one did anything. But today, the God that redeemed me, the God that, helped me out of that, the God that sustains me up to this place, up to this point in my life, I sit here as a living testimony to say that truly there is a God. I might not have everything put together in my life, but I give my story to encourage somebody who feels like they're at the end of their life, and to say that it's not, all is not lost. So I hope you have been inspired. I told you I'll keep being real. I love being real. And the reason why I'm real is because life is real. We're all of us going through something, and life is real, and life is happening to each one of us. And as it happens, let us embrace each other with compassion. We might not understand, but let us not also judge. And yeah, I wish you the very best and God's blessings, success, favor, mercy as you carry on in life. May you always find courage in the Lord. Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much for staying with me. My name is Faith Blessing. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please share. Please follow. Like, give me a thumbs up. If you followed me to the end, please give me a thumbs up. And thank you so much. Yeah, God bless you all. Till next time. Bye bye.
At 4859. Not. At Tina Beavers dash P9M. Never mind button. Learn more button. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your private. Top fans button. Out of list. 0 watching now. 2 likes. 1 hour, 4 minutes, 36 seconds. Live. Finish button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay, button. Cancel button. Okay, button. Cancel button. Double tap to activate.
Oh dear, my phone is hanging.
Okay, button. Okay.